You've taken the phone away. You've set the screen time limits. You've done the phone-free evenings, the no phones at the table whilst you're eating, the basket outside the bedroom. You've done it all. You've had the conversations about too much screen time. You've confiscated it for a week when it got really bad. And then what? She was miserable as hell. She was furious. She stayed in her room 24/7 in her bed. She found other ways to cope, and some of them were way worse than the phone. Or she white-knuckled through the week, and the moment she got the phone back, she was straight back where she started. Because here's the truth, you were never told. The phone isn't the problem per se. The dysregulated body underneath it is. And until you understand what the phone is actually, what the body is actually trying to do, what it's hungry for, what it's missing, what it's reaching for, taking the phone away just removes the symptom and leaves the cause completely untouched. And by the way, I'm not saying here that the tech companies are not the ones that are at fault here. I'm just saying there's a dysregulated nervous system within it. If you're a mum of a girl, a teen, a tween, or a young woman who's starting to feel like a stranger in your own house, and I hasten to add, that's you, feeling like a stranger in your own house, this podcast may just stop you in your tracks a little, and I think that's a good thing. Because you've tried the conversations, you've tried reading the books, you've Googled at 2 a.m, you've maybe spoken to the school or the college or university, you've even started wondering about pushing for a referral. But still she seems unreachable, still glued to her phone, still shutting you out, still not the girl you know is in there somewhere. And you're starting to wonder, is it me? Is it her? Is something actually wrong here? But here's what I want you to know before we go any further. Nothing is wrong with her, and nothing is wrong with you. But something is seriously wrong with the story we've been told about our teenage girls. And today and every week on this podcast, we're going to unpick it. So welcome to the Teen Whisperer, whether this is your first time or your second time, or you've been a long-standing subscriber of my podcast. Welcome. I'm Rach Friedley, health play specialist, coach, mum, and the person who finally connects all those little dots that everyone else has been staring at separately and in isolation. Because here's the truth. Your daughter's behaviour is not a problem to fix. It is a message from a nervous system that is not getting what it needs, what it was designed to need. And when you understand that, really understand it in your body, not just your head, everything changes. How you see her, how you respond to her, how you feel about yourself as a mum. And by the way, everything I talk about also relates to you as a mum. So every week I'm going to give you the biology, the physiology, the tools, and the honest conversation that should have happened friggin' years ago. No jargon, no judgment, no list of things that should have been done differently, because that's not the way I work. Just the truth about our girls, their bodies, their cycles, their nervous systems, and what they actually need to come back to themselves. So yeah, let's dive in. So I want to say something to the mum who spent years trying to manage her daughter's tech use. Hey, I'm here. Anyway, you were given the wrong problem to solve, and this has taken me years to figure this out. Every article, every expert, every school assembly, every parenting book frame this as a discipline issue. It is not. A screen time issue, an addiction issue. Set the limits, have the conversations, be consistent, take the phone if you have to. And you tried it all of that. It either didn't work or worked briefly and then stopped. Or it caused so much conflict that the cost was higher than the result. That is not your failure. That is the framework's failure. And this is what's different, because the framework was looking at the phone, and just the phone. The phone was never the point. So what is the nervous system actually hungry for? Do you know what? I'm so glad you asked. Yes, I know you did. So let's talk about what happens in her body when she picks up that phone. Her nervous system, like every nervous system, is constantly running one calculation. Am I safe? Do I belong? Am I enough? That calculation tool has been running ever since she was born. And the world our girls are growing up in, it is on a constant alert. It never ever stops. And in that world where she sits at a desk, if she's at school or college or university for 6 hours being assessed, where every social interaction is performed in front of an audience, where her body barely moves, where she hasn't felt the air on her face or grass under her feet all day, by the time she gets home, that nervous system is wired, depleted, and absolutely desperate for something. It needs stimulation. It needs connection. It needs regulation. It needs to feel like it belongs somewhere. And then, of course, she picks up the phone. And for a moment, teeny tiny weeny brief moment, it delivers. TikTok gives her novelty and stimulation. Instagram gives her a window into other people's lives. Snapchat gives her a thread of connection, even as a teeny weeny thing. She feels for a moment less alone. The problem isn't that she's choosing the phone. The problem is that the phone is the only thing on offer. Her nervous system is hungry. The phone is the food that's available, and it's junk food. It fills the gap briefly and then leaves her hungrier than before, which is why that scroll happens again and again and again. And if you live at the end of a track in a village where the last bus leaves at 6 and there's no youth club and none of her friends live nearby, the phone isn't just junk food. It is the only food available, her only window to the world, her only source of connection with anyone who isn't her family. Taking it away doesn't fix the hunger, it just removes the only available meal and leaves her starving. That's not a moral failing. This is a nervous system doing exactly what it's designed to do, finding the available source of what it needs and using it. So what is she actually hungry for? Again, so glad you asked. What would it be reaching for if the phone weren't there? So it would be reaching for 5 things, and none of them are on the screen. Novelty and stimulation, but the physical kind. The kind that comes from moving a body through an unpredictable environment. The surprise of cold air. The texture of bark under your fingers. The challenge of a path that isn't flat. The nervous system was designed to be stimulated by the world, by real sensory, unpredictable input. TikTok mimics this in the crudest possible way. It gives the brain a flicker of novelty every 3 seconds. And yes, you heard that correctly, 3 seconds. But it does it through 2 senses only, sight and sound, and it leaves the body completely still. The body wants to be in the novelty, not just watching it. Connection, real connection, not validation, not an audience. The kind that happens when 2 nervous systems are in the same room, making eye contact, laughing, touching, being together without performing. The nervous system regulates through other nervous systems. It always has. This is co-regulation, the way every human from the very beginning has calmed and settled. We're not designed to regulate alone. We're designed to regulate together. Instagram shows how other people's lives. Snapchat maintains that thread of connection without ever quite delivering it. And YouTube, and this one is worth paying especially attention to, especially if she's watching the same creators on repeat. YouTube creates the feeling of a relationship. The creator who shows up every week, who seems to get to it, who talks directly to camera as if she's talking to them specifically. For a girl at the end of a track with no bus, no youth club, can still feel more real than most of her school friendships. So that interaction with somebody, with a creator, feels more real. This belonging feels genuine. Her body still knows the difference. Belonging, that is the deepest need. Am I safe here? Do I matter here? Will someone notice if I'm not here? The scroll delivers endless micro doses of social information. Who's out? Who wasn't invited? Who got more likes? It doesn't deliver belonging, it delivers surveillance with a filter on it. And Pinterest, which so often flies completely under the radar because it looks like harmless inspiration, is doing the same comparison work as Instagram, just quieter. The board of the bedroom she wishes she had, the body she's saving images of. The aesthetics, the life, the version of herself that doesn't exist yet. The nervous system is measuring itself against all of it. It looks just like a mood board. And regulation, just the feeling of a nervous system coming back to a safe level. After a school day, college day, university day, whatever it is, or performing, the body is just desperate to stop performing and just be. The scroll doesn't deliver this. It keeps that performance going again and again and again, just in a different venue. What it delivers, it is movement, touch, being outside, being held, laughing until your stomach hurts. The body knows how to regulate. It just needs the conditions. And the very last one, purpose and mastery. The sense of being good at something, of making something, of leaving something behind. Not for grades, not for assessment, just for that feeling within her. This is what happens when a girl loses herself in making something. A playlist, a drawing, a recipe, a garden, whatever it is. The nervous system settles into a flow. The scroll is the opposite of flow. It's a constant stream of interruption. And here's what I want you to notice. All 5 of these things are available in real life. I never thought that would become an acronym. IRL. All 5 of them, novelty, connection, belonging, regulation and mastery, can be given to a nervous system through real physical sensory experiences. And none of them require you to take the phone away first. The goal is never less tech, because tech is here to stay. We can't remove it. The goal is more life. Give the nervous system something real to reach for, and the pull of the phone loosens. Not because she's choosing differently, but because she's actually been fed with what she needs. So one more thing before we get to the practical. Everything I've just described, the hunger, the reaching, the need for connection and belonging and regulation, is true for any teenager. But it is especially and particularly acutely true for girls. And here's why. Girls are more socially orientated than boys from very early on. They need to belong, to be in a group, to be seen and accepted for who they are. It runs way deeper. And the threat of exclusion registers as a genuine physical threat in the body. Instagram, Snapchat, these platforms were not designed for the male nervous system. They were designed for exactly the female nervous system that feels a social threat most acutely. And then layer in that 28-day cycle on top of it. In the volatile week, the week before her period, whether it's arrived yet or not, whether she's menstruating or not, her stress tolerance is at its lowest. Her nervous system is already primed for threat. A normal scroll through Instagram in the energy week lands completely differently than in the volatile week. The same images, the same accounts, but in that volatile week, the body reads them as evidence. I'm not enough. I'm not included. I'm not like them. There's something wrong. This is not a mindset problem. It's a hormonal reality, and nobody is telling mums to track it. So this week, I want you to ask one question, not to her, to yourself. What is my daughter's nervous system actually hungry for right now? When you see her on her phone, instead of reaching for the screen time rule, just pause and ask, what is she reaching for? Is she reaching for connection, stimulation, belonging, or regulation? What has today not given her that her body is desperately trying to find? You don't have to do anything with the answer just yet. Just ask that question. Because the moment you start asking that question instead of, why is she always on her phone? Everything shifts. You stop seeing a problem and you start seeing a need. And a need you can meet. So just to remind you, she's not addicted to a phone. She is hungry for it in a world that isn't feeding her what she needs. And now you know what she's hungry for. That changes everything. So before I go, I want to tell you about something I'm running on the 27th of May. It's a live webinar, and we're going to go deep on exactly this. The biology of what tech is doing in your daughter's nervous system, and the practical tools that give her something better to reach for. So if today's episode resonated with you, this is the next step. All the details are in the show notes. I'd love to see you there. And if you like what you hear, please hit subscribe, leave a review so that other mums can find this podcast. And yeah, have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.